2, 1.
Will and Grace ditched their fancy New York loft and went on an extreme sports adventure. What do you think you'd have? Well, you have paragliding, bungee jumping, whitewater rafting, and that is the premise behind a new show being shot here in Ottawa. Fearless takes 3 everyday people, puts them in really scary situations just to see how fearless they are. And Taralee Gerhard is the co-producer. She's the host of Fearless. Jesse Reynolds is also a host on the program, and both of them join me in studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Kathleen.
Good morning.
So, Taralee, let me start with you. Where did you come up with the idea for Fearless?
I was a chicken. A complete
That's a
chicken.
good starting point.
A complete chicken when it came to many things. And I just reached a point in my life where I thought, well, geez, I have nothing left to lose. And decided I was just going to do absolutely anything that I was afraid of.
Really?
And get over it.
Okay, but how do you go from being a chicken to deciding you're going to confront all the things you're afraid of?
Split decision.
What does that mean?
Split decision. It was either continue living my life a little bit sheltered and a little bit afraid to go out and try new things, which was not a happy place to be, or decide, you know what, I'm going to live it to its fullest. I figured out basically that if fate wants to find you, it knows where you are. Mm-hmm. So what's the problem with anything? Yeah. Just go and do it. It doesn't matter what the challenge or the obstacle is. You can always face it and get over it.
Jesse, for you, what was the pull, the draw to be involved in this?
It was definitely, partly the excitement of doing these things I would never normally do. So when Tara called me and asked if I wanted to be on TV, my answer was yes. After I said yes, she told me what I was going to be doing on TV. So at that point...
Any hesitation at that point?
There was a little hesitation. She got a few phone calls. But I'm so glad that we've started this. It's really awesome. And the pull for me was really the whole, TV show thing and everything like that. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd never jump off a bridge. I would never, risk my life on the water. But I'm so glad I'm doing it because, like Tara, I'm not as sheltered, and it's just crazy facing your fears.
He's such a diva, though. He
I
did
am
it all
not
for
a
the
diva.
TV. He did it all for the TV, but because he's such a diva. But
Yeah, but
well,
now,
he just said
but
that.
now,
You just said that.
Yeah.
Essentially, if it hadn't been for television,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be jumping
I
off a
wouldn't
bridge.
have, but now I will. Taralee. Now I will.
the challenge is on.
So there, I think, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
So talk about, I don't know if you jump off bridges, but what do you jump off or jump into or jump away from?
This was the absolute best. It was a 200-foot bungee jump. It's the highest bungee in the Western Hemisphere. And you have the option of getting your body dipped into the quarry in the water below you. And our knees were just absolutely shaking, just terrified to go off this thing. It's menacing. When you look at it, it's really, really, really high up. And, just getting ready to go jump off of that, we thought, just what are we doing? I mean, are we sane? I mean, honestly, your body resists it completely.
Didn't you have the scariest jump, though? Doesn't it sort of, I was reading, not everyone touched the water, but you did.
I did. Jesse chose to go in a seated position, which means your head stays upright. And
he's trying to protect his hair.
Absolutely.
People can't see Jesse, but he has a great head of hair.
Thanks, Kathleen.
It's all about the
You're
hair
welcome.
for Jesse. But he did phenomenal. Arms and legs flailing as he's sailing down. And then for me, they said, well, somebody has to do the most extreme option. You have to show that. So I said, all right, strap me in. So they strapped me by my ankles and counted to 5, and off I went, swan dive 200 feet, and was dipped right into the water and pulled right out. And when you bounce back up, you actually bounce back up 150 feet, so you kind of start all over again.
Wow. See, that sounds almost scarier than the going down. I know that sounds twisted, but the idea that you're going back up only to know that then you have got to go back down again.
Yeah, it's
I don't know,
sheer
I'm just
terror.
starting to imagine.
Sheer terror. 7 seconds of sheer terror.
It must be.
Absolutely.
I don't think anything's worse than the first step off, though. Your body totally resists that. It doesn't want to jump. It's just natural, right?
Yeah, you don't want to do it. Body doesn't want to do it. You have to force yourself off the edge. And then you're thinking, what did I do?
Yeah.
It's done.
So if that was terrifying for you, what was the most terrifying,
Part of the bungee jumping?
fear-inducing, anything that you've done?
Well, so far, It would have been the bungee jumping
Really?
was the scariest for me. Just that was the first activity we did. We just knocked off the weekend with the scariest one, I think.
And how do you pick what you're going to do? How do you choose?
That's me.
That's you.
That's
her.
me.
How does she want to torture me next?
You don't get a veto on this. That isn't part
Not
of
at
your
all.
deal.
I
Okay.
just jump.
You might want to think about that next time, just by the way. Little advice, free advice
Thanks.
on the side. So what's been most fun then? Because not everything has been scary, right?
No.
Well, there was some funny things like the horse racing. And
I was going to ask you about the horse. Okay. So?
oh, I had a good time on the horse. I don't know. They were just very bouncy, so bouncy I couldn't barely stay on. And Tara was making it way worse because apparently she thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever seen, watch me bounce up and down.
You didn't have this rhythm, so you were really coming
No
in
rhythm.
conflict with your back end and the horse's.
Yeah, that's
Back.
about right.
Oh,
Yes.
he was
And
bouncing around like a rag doll, of course wearing a pink shirt next to Kirk the cowboy, which was absolutely fantastic.
What did Kirk think?
Oh, Kirk was just like, who are these two crazy city folks and what the heck are they doing on my ranch? You know,
He was
It was
laughing.
absolutely bizarre. So Jesse's bouncing around. He's like, Tara, I don't know what's going on. And he's got that rhythm going. And
It's funny, I was
Or-
just talking to a
Stop
friend the other
laughing.
day, a couple that I know going horseback riding. The guy's never been before, and I suggested to him, in my experience at least, a lot of men don't have a lot of padding,
no.
Uh-huh.
and they ultimately get more injured.
Just a little bit.
Well,
yeah.
Yes.
And I said to Jesse too, as he's slapping along in front of me, I said, Jesse, how's your butt doing? He says, that's not what I'm worried about. You should talk to my boys. That was kind of like, oh geez, thank God I'm not a
Yeah.
guy. But
Now this sounds like a lot of fun, and I love the concept of sort of confronting your fears without it being sort of weird, because some of the stuff that you see on television, these so-called reality shows, sort of, I don't know, they lean towards weird in
Gross.
my books. So tell me what makes this different, though, for people who would be interested in watching this when it finally hits a TV screen near everyone. What makes this different?
well, one of the things that makes it completely different is that we are not your average outdoor wilderness buff jock type people. We are truly people that are your everyday. I'm a 31-year-old single mom, and Jesse's 20 and just exploring his life. So we're coming at it from, a decade between us, two different places, but definitely city people and not trained to do these things. We really want to show people that you can get over any fear and do anything you're afraid of. And we actually broke down fear. All fear, no matter what it is two things. And Jesse, why don't you tell them what we broke it down to?
We broke it down while we were waiting to jump for the bungee. We were terrified, so we were thinking, what could it be? Fear is nothing more than the fear of the unknown and the fear of what you can't control. So as you were waiting to jump, right, you don't know what's going to happen. Is that rope going to snap? Are you going to hit the water? Are you going to smash the jagged rocks? You don't know, just like anything. We do more activities than just extreme sports, too. We were going to go stay at a haunted house. Same thing. You don't know what's going to be in that house. You don't know what to expect from it.
And it's also not a contest. I mean, that's the other key
No.
part of this, right? You're not trying to beat each other at anything. You're trying to confront your fears together.
And it's empowerment.
Yeah.
It's empowerment. And to show that you can be empowered by doing that, we hope to empower other people. One of the channels that it's going to be shown on
I
is
was going
actually...
to ask you that next, so I'm glad you brought it up.
I'm so excited about this. There's a brand new channel that's launching on Labor Day weekend, and it's called Yes TV. Yes TV is the youth empowerment station.
That's perfect. It's so appropriate, isn't
It's
it?
amazing.
Say
It's
yes to confronting
say
your
yes.
fears.
Say yes. Say yes
Excellent.
to everything. And just to have the opportunity to help empower people to do better or to achieve more in their life is such a great gift to us.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? What a great gift it's been having you guys in the studio.
Great.
You're such fun. Thank you. And I wish you the best with it. Good luck. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks. You want to jump out of an airplane with us?
Oh, I really don't. I will live vicariously through the two of you. I'll have
right.
better
We'll
hair as
do
a
it.
result, and I'll be jumping out of who knows what. Anyway, good luck, you two. Thanks for coming in.